Good morning, sunshines. I hope you all are doing fabulous. If you can see by my setup, you might have guessed it. I've taken the bait. I am going to attempt winter sowing. As you can see, it is bright and early. It is still not that bright outside, but I wanted to get up and I wanted to start my day early and get everything that I want to get done. And that was included making this video for us today and accomplishing this winter sewing method that I want to try. I'm not just a content creator or, just make videos, but I think my light needs to be brighter. That's what. Ta-da! I hope that light being so low didn't have effect on everything else, but I hope you also can see me. But what I was saying was I'm not just a creator, I'm also a consumer. And so I do watch YouTube. I do go on different websites and check things out. So for a couple of years now, I've been seeing the concept of winter sewing, but I've been like, I don't want to do that. And so, but this year, I was like, let me try it. Let me try something different this year. So I'm going to give it a try. So what am I missing here? And so what you need besides waiting for our tea to be ready, just waiting for the hot water. Can you believe I'm not having coffee this morning, but I am having tea? I had coffee late last night. Coffee does not keep me up per se. It actually relaxes me. It does help me to sleep. But when I do have a cup of coffee at night, early in the morning, like now, I'm typically not ready for another cup of coffee. And so we may have one later on in the day, but for now, and we're ready. So maybe later on in the day, we'll do our cup of coffee because y'all know I'm a coffee drinker. But I just thought I would try my hand at winter sewing. And so I watched some, commentary on it. I read some things about it. And so there are a few seeds that I understand are good for winter sowing, including some of the flowers. And that's what our focus is going to be today. Not so much veggies. I'm only going to do flowers, but including some of the flower seeds that we've already got ready in one of our last videos, my first seed sowing video. So like, for instance, I think it was pansies. Pansy is a good starter seed for winter sowing. Delphinium and foxglove. And I was like, wow. So what I'm going to do, there's some others, snapdragons. We didn't sow those seeds. So some seeds I'm going to repeat, and some seeds are going to be new. But I only have 4 containers here. So I want to do the snapdragons. Let me see. Maybe I'm not going to repeat any. I could go gather more containers. I wanted to take the poppy seeds were another one. Alyssum is one, but I find that alyssum, and I have white alyssum that I grew last year, and then I picked up some purple alyssum. Well, it's called Royal Carpet alyssum. I really like this. This was very easy to just sow in the garden bed I put it in, and it germinated just fine. Cosmos, I understand, is another one. Let me see. So I have 5 jugs here. So just going through my little seed packs. So I definitely want to do the poppies. I want to do the snapdragons. And I want to do some more pansies. So that's 3. We'll go ahead and do some more foxglove. And hey, why not the delphinium? So the new seeds that I'm going to sow today is going to be the poppies and the snapdragons. Everything else we've already sowed, but we just sowed a different way. And so we're going to try out this winter sowing method. And so after doing like some reading and some watching, my understanding of the winter sowing method is that you're trying to put the seeds out in the condition that they would be in once they germinate ahead of time. The other thing is the cold stratification is what it's called. So I thought of it like tulips and daffodils. For one, for me, I'm in Massachusetts, zone 6B. So for me, when we start planting out our tulips and our daffodils, and you all have seen me plant those out, I think I started in November. And the reason we have to start putting them out because we have to do it before the ground freezes, but they also have to go through a process where they get a certain amount of days of cold. I don't know the exact temperature. I'm just going to say cold, right? And so, but then in the spring, they know that it's time to wake up and they begin to sprout and bloom. That's the same thing from my understanding with this process. When we winter sow inside of the containers, the process is going to be, you won't see anything happening, but when it's time for these seeds to wake up, they will know and they will wake up. Okay. I also needed to turn up the brightness of my camera, but, and so they will know. And so you want to use little containers, clear containers, frosted containers. The main container that you normally see out here in winter sowing is the milk jug. Now, this is a chocolate milk jug. You know, that's what my family likes. They like regular milk and chocolate milk. But you want to use a type of clear container, something that the sun can penetrate through. So a milk jug. These are juice cartons. I've also seen people use bottled waters, the bottles of the water. That's pretty cool. What else have I seen? I've also seen, which I do like this idea, and depends on how it goes. If I do it next year, I might go with this method. The container, you can take one of those plastic tubs, storage tubs, and you can use that as well, just by taking your, not the milk jugs, but say like this. This container, and just sitting a bunch of those in there that have their seeds, sitting a bunch of those in there to fill up the actual tub, and then lock in the tub and sit in the whole thing outside. You also have to, and I did this in preparation of this video to most of them, you also have to prepare your bottles. And the way you do that, whatever you're going to use, whether it's the milk jug, whether it's the juice container, whether it's the tub, you have to give drainage holes. So I wouldn't take up too much time, or this video wouldn't be so long. I went ahead for most of them except for this one, and I put the drainage holes. The other thing you have to do is you want to cut. So you're going to need something sharp to cut, to make holes, to cut. You don't want to cut the whole top off, but you want to just give it flexibility so that you can open and you can close it. The other thing you're going to need is some tape, some type of like duct tape, packing tape. Definitely don't want to use like painter's tape. You want to use some type of tape that can weather the storm. So I picked up this black duct tape. You're not going to need these caps because also it's the winter sowing method. These bottles are going to obviously be placed outside. So when it snows, when it rains, you want all of that to be able to just go directly in the bottle. And so you won't need the caps, but I'm going to save my caps and I'll tell you why. So let's utilize this. So I have here some pruners and I have a knife. So depending upon, I'm going to put my cap back on because I found when I was preparing these bottles that the cap was easier for me. That was easy. So poke a hole, and depending upon how big the hole is, I don't know, that's pretty big. I might not need 4. I might just need 2. I didn't mean to make it that big, but I know what to do. Okay, so now we have the holes at the bottom. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go around. For this, you don't want to cut the handle off, so you want to cut below the handle for the milk jug. Come on, milk jug. Be safe when you're doing this. It does take some time. You want to be safe. A little bit more. I almost cut it all the way off, but you see, now I can do that. It has the holes, and I actually have another jug over there. So if I do want to do some different seeds, which I might, I can go ahead. And so I believe I have some coffee filters, old coffee filters. If not, I do, because my coffee maker that I use now doesn't take coffee filters, but so it's stuck inside this drawer. But what I'm going to do, because I made that hole a little big, I'm going to take a coffee filter and just place it at the bottom. That way, the soil just doesn't run out. And remember, the coffee filter will break down, water could get through it, and all the things. And so here we are. And so what we're going to just do, and let me get a scooper for this, and a Sharpie. And I forgot my tags. So what I want to do is make sure I tag these. So let's start off with the snapdragons. Find my marker. And let's tag these. At least get it ready so I don't mix anything up. Okay, so there goes a tag for that. So I'm going to sit that there. And let's cut this new bag of soil open. I am, once again, using pot and mix. This is by Vigoroa. That is I think that's the Home Depot brand. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fill up our soil. Out, out, out. He likes being where he's not supposed to be. And so we got that pot and mix in there. So we got it pretty filled up. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, once again, water my soil. And I'm going to give it a mix. Like that. Hope y'all can see me. I feel like I got so many things in the way. Okay, let's bring you all closer. Okay, that's probably better. Okay. So I'm going to take the snapdragons seeds and I'm just going to sprinkle them on. Doesn't seem like they're little, but let me put them in my hand first. They are super tiny, and there's a lot of them. A part of me wants to just use a whole pack because I don't know about you. That's just how I am. Like, I'll just rather just use a whole pack of seeds. And so I'm just going to sprinkle this on the top, but that would be way too many snapdragons. Like, there are a lot of seeds in my hand. I didn't even realize some of these will be going back in there because snapdragons like cool weather, and so I should be able to have some at the top of spring. And this is my first time growing snapdragons, but I should be able to have some at the top of spring and then be able to have some in fall. So after we've done that, I'm going to take my spray bottle and we're going to spray those seeds. Those seeds were so small, I do not think I need to cover them. Let me see if the pack tells me. Some of the packs will tell you, but I read through this pack and I didn't see anything about not covering. I'll put a very light layer on. Very light layer. Those seeds were super small. That should be enough. And I'm going to just, we're not expecting rain anytime soon. And remember, these are going to go outside and I don't want to have to water them, but sometimes you might. And the other thing, the reason I'm keeping the caps, as I was talking about, because if it rains too much, say I'm going to get a week worth of rain. Oh my gosh, I might have to go stick the caps on because I don't want these things flooding. Although they have, you know, the drainage holes, that just can be a lot. So it depends upon your area. So this one is done. And so you're going to just try to get it back the way it was. And this is where your tape comes in. Now we're going to tape the bottle. First, stick it in, take your label, stick it in so you don't forget. So we're going to take our tape and we're going to tape off this jug. Trying to line it back up with its original lineup. And trying to make it look smooth and cute. Hey, get under there. This tape is not going anywhere, so you want to do that. And then I'm going to take, I have a red permanent marker, and I'm going to write on this again what this is. So snap. That way, I'm not trying to open and close for figuring out what it is. I can just look on the outside. But the reason I put the label on the inside is in case this right here, because of the weather, comes off. And today's date, today I think it's the 26th. Yeah. 1/26/25. Oh my gosh. And we did our first jug for winter summer. So we're going to repeat that. I do like these. I chose these bottles because I just like that they were clear, that they really reminded me of a greenhouse. Like, because it's clear. The milk jug is frosted, but this is clear. Oops. And I want to, once again, because these holes, when I was making the holes, they just, I don't know. My knife was just going through kind of quick. Like, I didn't expect that. And at first I wasn't using my knife. I was trying to use my pruners, but that didn't work. So I don't want the soil to just run out all over the place. So stick these down in there. And we're going to just keep repeating this process. And that was our last jug. That was our delphinium. So we have our delphinium. We have our foxglove. We have our Cali poppies, pansies, and snapdragon. So let me bring these packets in closer so you can see what they'll look like. So here's our delphinium. We already sold some of this. Isn't that, oh my gosh, I want a lot of delphinium and foxglove. Foxglove, gorgeous, just so pretty. This is the packet of the Cali poppies. See, that's a pretty mixture. And then our snapdragon. So those are our mixtures. And so what a mess. Thankfully, I have purchased this mat here because this mat makes it for easy cleanup. And so it looks like a big mess, but all I'm going to have to do is put everything away. And so I'm going to go ahead and get that done. There are a lot of videos out there regarding winter sowing that can give you way more information than I might have given you on today. So make sure you check those channels out. Make sure you read. Make sure you read in Google. Yes, Google. Make sure you do your Google research. It's very helpful. I also went to the Almanac website. I was looking for things to sow in my particular zone, and those were some of the seeds that I came across along with some others. Did I just mess that tape up? I sure did. Took the tab off. Now I can't find the start. I wanted to find in my growing zone what seeds were good for winter sowing. And so there were other things up there like Cosmos. Trying to think of some others. I don't know why Cosmos. Lavender was up there. What else? There was a list that they gave me, and so I might eventually do some more. I may sow some Cosmos because I do have some Cosmos. They were very easy to grow. I grew them last year as well. I like to just tape these packets that I open. And so we're going to go out later and put these outside. So when we put these outside, we're going to find a sunny location. For me, I already know that I'm going to sit these containers out inside one of my raised beds. That's where I'm holding over a few plants because I know that area gets sunny. You want to put it in a sunny location. You want to put it in a location where it's going to drain off. And so it'll be able to drain right into the garden bed. So that's how I'm going to handle these. And so we'll put them outside a little later. I told you all it was super duper early in the morning. I don't know if it's super duper early. I'm an early bird, you know. And so I believe when I started it was about 7. That's not early. Anyways, I hope you all have a grand old day. I hope you got something from this. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with these. I'll put them outside. We'll take the lids off. I'll take you along with me when I do that. But I'm going to just say bye here. And I hope you all have a great day. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to subscribe. Appreciate it. But until next time, blessings. Bye. Cleanup time.